Welcome back, everyone, to Wisdom Unveiled. We are on episode 25.
25 already.
I know, crazy, right? And as always, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of Iranian philosophers.
Yes.
And just a quick reminder, we are working with translations here. So, just a heads up that there might be a nuance or two that we might miss along the way. But we do apologize for any discrepancies in advance.
Of course.
Today we are focusing on Saadi of Shiraz.
Yes.
This guy was writing over 700 years ago.
Amazing.
But honestly, some of his ideas about wealth and purpose and living a meaningful life, they feel so incredibly relevant even today.
I agree. It's really remarkable.
So let's jump right in. What's so striking about Saadi is this whole idea that he kind of like flips the script on how we think about wealth.
Exactly.
He's not saying go out there and make a ton of money. He's really arguing that true power comes from knowledge and the impact of your actions.
You got it. He really challenges us to rethink what real wealth is all about.
So it's not about flashing your gold. It's about the gold within.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
That's pretty thought-provoking what led him to these conclusions.
Well, Dr. Dinani points out this great example where Saadi compares a wealthy man who's actually seeking help to a scholar who's in a position to offer it.
Okay.
And in Saadi's view, the scholar is the one who holds the true power.
Interesting.
And it's not because of their possessions or their money, it's because of their wisdom.
Okay. So he's saying that intellectual and spiritual wealth that trumps material wealth like every single time.
You're catching on quickly. He actually has this really powerful quote where he says, "Wealth is not in possessions according to those of complete excellence."
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Yeah.
So he's not just saying that, money can't buy happiness, but that like achieving true excellence that comes from something entirely different.
Exactly. Saadi's challenging us to redefine wealth altogether. He sees it as something that's rooted in your character, your wisdom, and the lasting impact you have on the world. And he even goes as far as to say that, material wealth, it's only useful up to a point.
Right.
To the edge of the grave, as he puts it.
To the edge of the grave.
Yes.
And then he adds this phrase, and after that, it is deeds.
Right.
It almost sounds like he's saying we only start doing good deeds after we die, which doesn't quite sound right.
Yeah, you've hit on a crucial point here. And this is where understanding the concept of natijat al-amal, or the result of actions, becomes really important.
Okay.
Dr. Larijani clarifies that Saadi's not saying we perform actions after death,
Right.
but that the impact of our actions continues to echo beyond our lifespan.
Okay, so it's not like we're, racking up good deeds in the afterlife.
Not at all.
But it's more like our actions here,
Yeah.
they have this kind of ripple effect that continues even after we're gone.
Exactly. Think of it like that, a ripple effect.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good visual.
And it ties back beautifully to that parable we've talked about before.
Yeah.
About the kid who trades that priceless golden ring for just a handful of dates.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Remember, the ring represents our time,
Yeah.
our most valuable possession.
And he just trades it away.
For these fleeting...
For a quick sugar rush.
Exactly, a quick sugar rush.
So the question Saadi's really posing is, are we squandering our golden rings
Right.
on these, fleeting pleasures, or are we investing them in something more lasting?
You got it. And Dr. Larijani puts it so beautifully. He says, the greatest value of this golden ring, our time, is to purchase eternity through the pursuit of divine knowledge.
Divine knowledge.
Yeah.
Does that mean we're talking strictly about religious things here? What if someone isn't particularly religious? Does Saadi's philosophy not apply to them?
That's a great question, and that's where I think Dr. Dinani's explanation is really helpful.
Okay.
He clarifies that Saadi's concept of divine knowledge, it's not limited to religious dogma or rituals.
Okay.
It's more about this deep yearning to understand the world,
Oh, I see.
to peel back the layers of existence,
Yeah.
and to wrestle with life's big questions.
Right.
It's about constantly seeking and learning and connecting to something larger than ourselves.
So it's less about specific beliefs and more about a certain way of being in the world.
Right.
Always searching for deeper understanding and connection.
Precisely. And that's a pursuit that transcends any specific religion or belief system.
Right.
It's something we can all strive for.
Okay.
And now, to achieve this kind of divine knowledge, Saadi introduces this really fascinating metaphor of the mirror of the heart.
Ooh, a mirror metaphor. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So Saadi suggests that our hearts are like mirrors, capable of reflecting truth and beauty, but they can also become clouded by things like our ego, our desires, hypocrisy, anything that prevents us from seeing clearly.
Yeah, for sure.
So polishing the mirror, in this sense, would be about clearing away that gunk so that we can see ourselves and the world more honestly.
Okay, so far we've established that Saadi redefines wealth.
Yes.
He's emphasizing the value of wisdom and impactful actions over material possessions. He's also urging us to use our most precious resource, our time, to invest in divine knowledge.
Yes.
And achieving this requires polishing the mirror of our hearts so we can actually see clearly.
You got it. And the best part is he doesn't just leave us with these abstract concepts.
Okay.
He actually provides practical guidance on how we can achieve this inner transformation and live a truly wealthy life.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't want to live a wealthy life?
Right.
In the truest sense of the word.
Exactly, in the truest sense of the word.
All right, well, let's dig into some of those practical tips because I'm ready to start polishing my mirror.
Let's do it.
I want that true wealth, baby.
All right, let's go.
This mirror of the heart metaphor. I really like it.
It's a good one.
It is a good one, but it's also kind of like pretty abstract.
Right.
Does Saadi offer any like concrete ways
he does
to actually polish this mirror?
He does, and it's not about some complicated ritual or anything like that. Right. He emphasizes really practical actions, like self-reflection, being mindful of our choices, and also this idea of seeking guidance from those who are wiser than ourselves.
So kind of like finding good mentors who can help us see our blind spot.
Exactly.
That's great advice even today.
Absolutely. It's amazing how these ideas, they really transcend time and culture.
Yeah.
Saadi also stresses aligning our actions with our values even when nobody's watching.
So it's not about putting on a good show for others.
Right.
It's about genuine inner transformation.
Precisely. And that's where the link to true wealth comes back in.
Okay.
Remember, Saadi argues that true wealth isn't about possessions,
right,
but the lasting impact of our actions.
Right. So polishing the mirror is about becoming the kind of person whose actions like create positive ripples in our own lives and the world around us.
You're getting it. It's like investing time and energy to build something truly valuable, something that goes beyond just the temporary nature of material possessions.
Okay, I'm with you so far. But I want to get like even more specific. Are there like examples
of course
of how Saadi illustrates these ideas in his work?
Plenty. For instance, Dr. Dinani highlights Saadi's emphasis on humility.
Oh.
And for Saadi, humility isn't about self-deprecation or denying your talents.
Right.
It's about recognizing that your knowledge and abilities, they're gifts to be used for something larger than yourself.
I remember a quote along those lines. Talent is God-given. Be humble. Fame is man-given. Be grateful. Conceit is self-given. Be careful.
That captures it perfectly. Saadi believed that true humility helps us see ourselves and the world more clearly, which leads to wiser choices and actions.
But wouldn't some people argue that, like, actions speak louder than intentions?
Yeah.
How does Saadi reconcile this with his focus on inner transformation?
That's a great question. Saadi would likely say that while actions are important, they are a reflection of our inner state. Polishing the mirror, cultivating those inner qualities is what allows us to act consistently in ways that benefit both ourselves and others.
So it's not just about doing good deeds.
Right.
It's about cultivating like a mindset that allows us to make a real difference consistently.
Exactly. Humility is the foundation for genuine growth and connection.
Okay.
And it's closely linked to another concept that Saadi talks about, overcoming hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy. How does that fit into the picture?
Well, Saadi viewed hypocrisy as a form of spiritual pollution.
Oh, wow.
He believed that it creates a wall between people.
Interesting.
Preventing genuine connection and understanding.
So it's like we're projecting this false image.
Yeah.
And that prevents others from seeing us authentically and vice versa.
Precisely. It goes back to the mirror of the heart. Hypocrisy is like a layer of dust that clouds our self-perception and prevents others from seeing our true nature.
So polishing the mirror involves being honest with ourselves about our flaws.
Yes.
And motivations.
Yes.
And consciously striving to live in alignment with our values.
Yes.
Even when it's difficult.
Now you're talking. Saadi reminds us that it's an ongoing process.
Of course.
Yeah. We're all human. We'll mess up. make mistakes, and sometimes fall short of our ideals.
For sure.
But the key is to acknowledge those missteps, learn from them, and keep striving to align our actions with our value.
Right. So it's not about being perfect.
Exactly.
It's about progress.
Exactly. And Saadi offers hope by reminding us that every moment is a chance to begin anew.
I like that.
He uses this powerful metaphor of dust and fire.
Okay. To explain how we can overcome hypocrisy.
Yes.
Okay, metaphors are definitely his thing.
They are.
Tell me more about this dust and fire analogy.
Okay, so imagine dust as our original pure state.
Okay.
It represents that spark of goodness within us, the potential for wisdom and compassion.
I like that.
And then fire.
Thanks.
Fire symbolizes our passions, desires, and ego. These are powerful forces that can motivate us, but also lead us astray if left unchecked.
So it's not about extinguishing these desires,
Right.
but learning to manage them wisely.
Exactly. Saadi doesn't advocate for denying our passions or desires.
Right.
He urges us to be mindful of them, to make conscious choices that align with our values rather than letting our desires control us.
It's like harnessing the fire's energy rather than being consumed by it, right?
A perfect analogy. That's where polishing the mirror comes in again.
Okay.
When we clear away the dust of ego, hypocrisy, and limiting beliefs, we gain clarity
Okay.
to discern which desires actually lead us toward our highest good.
So we're not just blindly following every whim,
Right.
but using wisdom and discernment to choose actions that are aligned with our truest selves and our values.
That's the essence of it. This approach leads to a life that's not only more fulfilling personally,
Yeah.
but also creates a positive impact on the world around us.
Wow, it's all coming together. Saadi isn't just presenting abstract concepts. He's offering like a practical roadmap
I agree.
for living a life of meaning and purpose, a life of true wealth.
You got it. And he does it with beautiful language and powerful metaphors that resonate centuries later. It's really remarkable.
Yeah, I'm so glad we took this deep dive into his work.
Me too.
It's like uncovering a treasure trove of wisdom.
It really is.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about these ideas, polishing the mirror, overcoming hypocrisy. But I'm curious, how do they actually, translate into everyday life?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Like, it's one thing to talk about it in theory, but, what does that actually look like, walking the walk?
Yeah, right. You're right. It's important to bridge the gap between the concepts and, real-world application.
Exactly.
And thankfully, Saadi doesn't just leave us with these abstract ideas.
Yeah, good.
He actually illustrates them through these really vivid stories and parables.
Stories. I love stories.
Me too.
They really help bring these concepts to life and make them so much more memorable.
Absolutely.
Does Saadi have any stories that particularly stand out when it comes to illustrating these ideas?
Oh, he was a master storyteller. One that comes to mind is about this wealthy man
Okay.
who's completely consumed by this fear of losing his fortune.
That's so relatable.
Yeah, isn't it?
I mean, even if you're not wealthy, that fear of scarcity can be so powerful.
Totally. And Saadi points out that this man's wealth, it becomes a source of anxiety rather than security.
Oh, wow.
He's so fixated on holding on to what he has that he actually misses out on the true joys of life.
He reminds me of that saying, the best things in life aren't things.
Precisely. And Saadi contrasts this wealthy man with a poor but contented dervish
Okay.
who finds joy in simplicity and helping others.
So it's not about the amount of money,
Right.
but our attitude towards it. Are we letting it control us? Or are we using it as a tool to live a meaningful life?
That's a key takeaway. Saadi reminds us that true wealth is an inner state.
Good.
It's not dictated by your external circumstances.
It seems like there's this recurring theme, right?
Yeah.
Saadi's consistently emphasizing that true wealth lies in cultivating these inner qualities like contentment, generosity, compassion.
You're spot on. And what's so empowering about that is that these qualities are accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
Regardless of your social standing or your material possessions.
Right. It's like we all have the potential to cultivate this inner wealth. But where do we even start? How do we actually cultivate these qualities?
Well, Saadi suggests one of the most powerful avenues is through service to others.
The classic, it's better to give than to receive.
Yes, but Saadi takes it a step further.
Okay.
He argues that true service, it's not about expecting something in return or doing it out of obligation.
Okay.
It's about recognizing our interconnectedness and acting from a place of genuine compassion.
So it's not just about performing good deeds.
Right.
It's about cultivating a certain mindset, a way of being in the world that recognizes our shared humanity.
Exactly. And that's where the mirror of the heart comes back into play.
Okay.
When we polish that mirror, we clear away ego and self-interest,
Yeah.
and it allows us to see the needs of others more clearly and respond with compassion.
It's like shifting from a me focus to a we focus.
That's the heart of Saadi's definition of true wealth.
Hmm.
He believed that when we dedicate ourselves to serving others, we not only create a positive impact,
Yeah.
but we also enrich our own lives immeasurably.
It's like that Gandhi quote. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others.
Beautifully put. And Saadi reminds us that service, it doesn't have to be some grand, heroic gesture.
Right.
It can be as simple as a kind word, a helping hand, or just simply listening to someone in need.
Yeah, those everyday acts of kindness, they really do ripple outwards.
They do.
And contribute to a more compassionate world.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And these acts, they not only benefit others,
Right.
they also nourish our own souls and contribute to that inner wealth.
Okay, so Saadi's message, it's ultimately one of hope and empowerment.
Yes.
He's telling us that we all have the capacity to create a more meaningful and fulfilling life,
Right.
both for ourselves and for others,
Yes.
by cultivating these inner qualities and putting them into action.
That's a wonderful summary.
Uh,
He reminds us that it's a journey, not a destination.
Right.
We're all works in progress.
For sure.
And every moment offers a chance to learn, grow, and make a difference.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling incredibly inspired.
Me too.
Saadi's wisdom, it feels so timely and relevant, full of hope, like he's speaking directly to us across the centuries.
I agree. It's a powerful reminder that the pursuit of true wealth, the kind that endures,
Yeah,
it's a journey worth taking.
absolutely.
It leads to a life filled with purpose, connection, and lasting impact.
What a beautiful way to wrap up our deep dive into Saadi's wisdom.
It's been a pleasure.
I hope you've enjoyed exploring his insights with us.
Me too.
Remember, everyone, true wealth, it lies not in possessions, but in the lasting impact of our actions
Yes.
and the wisdom we cultivate along the way.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep seeking that true wealth both within yourselves and in the world around you.